this is probably the most unprepared raw video that you will ever see. And I need to make this because this is probably the video that I thought that I would never make. You know, like, am I quitting interior design? Like, am I really saying that? Younger me would never believe this. But, you know, I've thought about this for a while. I've had these thoughts this year, which has been crazy insane that I'm thinking about this, because you guys know how much I love, or I used to love, I still love, I don't even know anymore, but I really always thought that interior design, I mean, you know, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I just want to put this video out there because I know a lot of you guys may be going through a similar situation, and I just want to I just want to share with you what has exactly happened in my career for me to think this way, for me to, you know, be making a change in my career. Am I gonna quit? You guys, like, I need to share this story. Like, I don't even know what's gonna happen, and I don't know. But let's just get right into it. And I know a lot of you guys are going through the same thing, because a lot of you guys are always texting me or like DMing me on Instagram, YouTube, email. Some people even email me about, you know, just they tell me that they're lost in the career, and I can relate. I lived it this year. It was crazy. I don't even have the words to kind of like, what happened, like what the hell happened. But anyway, let's get into it. So some of you may know my story. If you have not heard about it, I'll leave some videos where I can where I share with you a bit of my story. But I'm gonna just briefly talk about it if it's the first time that you see me here on YouTube. So when I started my career in interior design here in Canada, I was so freaking excited. This is the career for me. Like, I always knew since I was a little kid, I want to be an interior designer. And so I was 1 year into studying, and then I met this designer, and I started working very early in my career, which was so freaking awesome because I was learning so many things that I was not learning in school. And I was like, what the heck? Like, why are they not teaching us these things in school? So that was like a huge realization moment. And so after a year of studying, I was like, you know what? I don't need school no more. Like, I just need to work, you know? And I started this YouTube channel for that exact same reason, just to share with you guys like what's going on like in the real world and how it's different from what we get taught in school. So anyway, and don't get me wrong, like what they teach in school is great, but it's most of the times it's not practical enough. And I guess that's with most careers. But anyway, this was just my experience. And after 1 year of studying, I was like, you know what? I don't need school. Like, I'm out of here. And so I just completed 1 year of university, and then I just continued working full time. But then I kind of like had this thinking of, okay, if I want to get another job, they're probably going to ask me if I have a bachelor degree or a diploma, you know, at least. And at that time, I only had a certificate, which was like a 1 year school. So I was like, I might need to go back to school, you know. And I went back to school. You can see my YouTube videos from earlier, like 2 years ago. I went back to school, and it was the worst thing that ever happened to me, for real. It was a full-time program, 9 courses at a time. It was the worst nightmare of my life. But I was like so dedicated, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get through this. I was getting through it, but it was so bad. Like, I don't want to say it was like hell, but it was so freaking bad. But at the time, I didn't really see it because I was like so busy doing assignments and homeworks and projects that I didn't really notice how my health was like going downhill. I would sleep like 4 hours a day, 3 hours a day. It was like, you know, like what they say, like architecture and interior design programs are really one of the worst. So I didn't really care because I've always been someone who excels in school, you know, like I always wanted to get the best grades, and even if that meant sleeping for 2 hours As long as I got a good grade, as long as my projects were like the best projects out there. I've always been like so perfectionist, and I didn't care about my health at all, like whatsoever. So anyway, I finished that, um, and and then I was like, man, I'm glad this is over. Like life is gonna be good from now on. I love this. I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna, apply for a company. At that time, when I graduated from school, I got this like freelancing jobs. Like I knew these people, and they were like, they wanted me to do this like interior design little projects for them. And from then, I started to just do freelance. But I don't know if I've shared with you this before, but when I was doing freelance, I was at the same time applying for jobs. Because freelance projects, you never really know when they will stop. Like you get a client, and then 3 months go by and you don't get another client. And I don't have like a huge business to be able to hire people, so I was doing everything myself. So it was like very hard, but it was good. Like I really liked it, but I was still applying for jobs. A year passed by, and I got like 0 interviews. Like I swear to you guys, and I can show you how I was emailing people, like companies, like applying for every single job. And I thought like, oh, my portfolio is good. Like I have the education, I have the experience because I've been working since I'm 19 years old. So I was like, what's going on? Like I was like, what the, you know? And so my hopes for interior design start to go like down. And so it was a lot of like trial and error. Like I changed my portfolio a million times. I kind of like cracked the code after a while, and I knew like what companies wanted to see on portfolios. Like I started, like I had my portfolio after I graduated from school, and I started to apply to companies with that portfolio. And then I see that they are not, reaching back, like they're not responding back to my job application. So I was like, the problem must be the portfolio. So I started to change the portfolio and like improve it. And then I learned like realistic rendering, which I didn't really know very well. And now I even have a rendering course where I teach you all of that. If you're interested, you can check the link in the description. I have Sketchup course where I teach people how to like work with Sketchup and rendering as well. So now like I've become really good at it, and I created this masterpiece of a portfolio. Like I am so proud of it. I even printed, I was gonna show you, probably, I don't know where it is, but I was so like obsessed about like making this like the best portfolio of my life, which I think I did at the time. Like I did best I could. And so my portfolio was freaking awesome. Like I swear to you guys, I even printed it like as a magazine. So it was so good. And then I started to get people to, sorry, my brain. I started to get answers from companies that I was applying to, and I started to go to interviews. So I was improving. I was like, okay, this is working. This is awesome. So I had this interview with this huge company, restaurant chain. Here in Vancouver, it's a huge company. They have like so many restaurants, and they're like high-end luxury. And so I had 4 interviews with them. So one after the other, like you go through filters, right? Like, so if you pass the first interview, you go to the second, the third, the fourth. So the 4th interview is like the in-person interview. And then the previous ones were like online interviews. So I was going through every single filter, and I was like, I'm gonna get this job. Like, I'm gonna get this job. I am so confident I'm gonna get this job. And so I go to the last interview at their office. Their office was so beautiful. It was in downtown Vancouver, ocean views. It was like a dream. And so I sat there. The interview went so well. And after I finished, I was so confident. Like I was already seeing myself there working. And guess what, guys? Like, guess what happened? So they told me that I was not the right fit because of my content creation background and whatsoever. And I was like, excuse you? Like, are you kidding me? Like, like, okay, because I'm a content creator, they thought probably that I would spend all this time doing content, which I haven't, because I haven't uploaded a YouTube video like in months. And so they thought that I was gonna, not give them enough attention because I, had this social media presence, and probably they thought I was gonna filter their information. I don't know what they thought, but that was a no. They were like, sorry, next. And I was like, you know what? I don't care, And so this happened 2 times more. So I went to interviews. They were so happy, and they were like, you know what? We can't hire you. And I was like, and so then I was talking to this architect who is my friend from YouTube. His name is Henry. Probably you've heard from him. And he's like, maybe do not mention that you're a content creator, because probably that's like kind of like that's the deal breaker for them, like they think like because you make content. And I was like, you know what, this is part of my life, like my personality, my career, like I can't even lie about this, like, and probably they would know anyway. But anyway, it was just so weird, and I was like, this is so not fair, like I don't know what to do, like. And also, like, I've had so many people in like my school who were struggling so bad to get a job, and everyone is just like struggling to get a job. And then I was just like kind of like applying again, without mentioning like, oh, I'm a content creator. I'm not gonna say anything, And so I go into like the job applications, and I go like, and I look that they're looking like, for example, for junior interior designers, and then they're asking like 2 years of experience, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And then at that time, you may remember from my Instagram posts that I started to post about like this problem, like how can companies be wanting to hire people like junior interior designers with 2 freaking years of experience? Like, this is just insane. Like, no junior interior designer has 2 years of experience. Like, and if they do, like even I did, like, because I was working while I was like in school, and still like nothing, So anyway, fast forward, I was like, this is so messed up. Like it's just impossible. And like people reach out to me, and they tell me like, oh, like I have this portfolio, I've been applying for jobs for months and years, and nothing has come to me, like. And I really was thinking like, do I want to, like, if I start a job, I would have to stop doing content because it's just too much time, And so when was it? A couple months ago? No, a couple of days ago. So a couple of weeks ago, I started to email again companies that were not even hiring, I was just randomly emailing them. And one of them got back to me, and I started to go to the office, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna hire you, this is gonna be so good. And I was like, I was so happy about it. After a week, I was so like disappointed, like I don't want to work here, it just does not feel right. So I was just like, I'm done, like bye, And so anyway, after that happened, I've really been thinking like, should I even like, really what I want to focus my energy on right now is I want to teach you guys how I went from not being responded by so many companies to like being able to create a portfolio that actually gets the attention. And what do you need, like what are the skills that you need? Like, it's just kind of like very much necessary, because believe me, if you go to school, if you graduate from school and you go apply for jobs, chances are you are not going to get a job. Like, it's happened to so many times, it's happened to so many people. And if you're one of those, please share your testimony, because we need to raise awareness. We need to raise awareness of this. So it's just been a huge kind of like disappointment from the industry. I don't know. I just really don't know what else to tell you. At this point, I really don't know whether I want to work a job, you know, continue my own thing as interior designer, become a mentor full time, and help you guys build your portfolio and like kind of like keep and help you guys learn the skills. And a big motivation for me to go into the kind of like content creation and like mentoring side of things for interior design is that I've had so many people, not so many, but like I've had a number of people who have reached out to me and tell me, oh, thank you so much for your SketchUp course. Like, thanks to that, I got a job. And to me, that's crazy insane. Like, I'm helping you guys to get jobs. Like, that makes me really, really happy. And I feel like I've found happiness and purpose in that rather than in the industry. Like, the industry has disappointed me a little bit, especially for the fact that I can't work a job because I'm a content creator. Like, anyway, this is just being my testimony, and I just wanted to share with you what's going on. Am I gonna continue to make YouTube videos? That's really gonna depend on whether you want to see more of this or not, you know. Let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you guys soon, I guess. Okay guys, take care, bye.